I want to be on the beach for spring break. Y'all enjoy spring break, okay? Be safe. In Jamaica, on a coastal island in Africa. Yeah, that's where I want to be. Yes. Can y'all see me in the sun?
I see you all in that sun.
We a pina colada. Just relax. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Big head with this her.
I got a big old head too.
He got a big head. We might be plus size. Some people say we should go hide ourselves, but no. Our parents raised us to love ourselves, and we do. So we have a big head. And he could be really conceited because I pumped it up. I pumped all this up.
To it.
I pumped all this up.
She ever added to it because I already had some pride. I already had a pride issue growing up.
Very.
See, one thing growing in church, people don't realize sometimes the church family, they like to hide things from you as a kid. They're like, don't look at that. You don't even know about all that. And then you go into the real world, you're like, what is this? I didn't know.
But it was protection.
It was protection. But what happened was the reverse happened with me and other people. I've seen other people. So you go out and you see someone fall and you're like, why did you fall? What did you do so bad? Let me walk away from you because I don't need your falling to get on me. Yes. See, and that's what happens. That pride took over. Big head. We have to make sure that when we get saved, or some people even not saved have this issue too.
Period.
You gotta make sure that you don't forget where you came from.
Period.
God pulled you out from wherever you were on someone else's bed. Out from the bottle, from some drugs, from some mental health, some mental issues,
manipulating,
pride. He pulled you out.
Greed.
So you can never forget where you come from, and don't bash others because they are not at, some people like to say, the level I'm at in Christianity. We could have levels, but don't act like you got to step down and push somebody down so they can stay at their level. Bring them up to where you're at.
Hashtag not guilty. Hashtag grace.
Yes.
We have to use grace. And I think there's a disconnect between the younger generation and the older generation.
Right.
Because grace is not given. Grace is not taught. Mm-hmm. So the young generation doesn't understand, well, if they did something to me, I'm going to get them back. Or if I want this to happen bad to them, I'm going to make sure I make a big ordeal about it. You know what I'm saying? And don't give each other grace because it's not taught. Whereas the older generation, who probably have lived through moments of grace, they have forgotten grace. And so therefore they don't give it to the younger generation. So that disconnect between the young and the old is happening. And I hope with our generation that we try to mend that, because we understand old school 1960s bobbing. We understand the hip hop, hippity whatever you want to call it now. And technology has really made that big gap too. And understanding, just because you have technology, young ones, don't mean that you can't learn from the old school.
Right. In old school, don't make sure you can learn from something that you.
Hello.
I do it every day as a high school counselor.
Every day. every day. And I think when we have that grace factor that God has given us, He's given us, why can't we give it to one another?
Yes.
Why is it so difficult for us to give one another grace? And if we did that, we could learn so much more, and we could embrace so much more. We could grow so much more versus this competition that we have against the old, the young, the black, the blue, the red, the whatever you want to be, the size of the coin.
Right.
We can't be here. We can't help each other. We can't lean the coin. We can't, you lean on me, I lean on you, and the coin still stays upright. We have to find a way to help one another, and through grace we can do that. Let's go to the word.
Mark 2:15-17. Later, Levi invited Jesus and his disciples to his home as dinner guests, along with many tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. There were many people of this kind among Jesus' followers. But when the teachers of religious law, who were Pharisees, saw him eating with tax collectors and other sinners, they asked his disciples, "Why does he eat with such scum?" When Jesus heard this, he told them, "Healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners." So I'm pretty sure if you ever heard the word Pharisee, you're going to hear it. If you just got saved, you're going to see the word Pharisees a lot in the Bible. I'm pretty sure when they started off, they had good intent. I know the law. I got it down. God said, do this. I do this. He said, sacrifice this. But then they took it too far.
Yes.
They took it as a way to push people down and said, hey, I follow the law. You don't. I'm better than you. Go away. And Jesus like, no. I came to start this thing new. We're going to love each other. You're going to love God. Then we're going to love each other as we want to be loved. And that's where Pharisees and other law-abiding Christians had a problem with, because he was like, he wanted to teach love instead of law.
Right.
And we don't want to be that. There's room for rules. There's room for law.
Hashtag show love.
Show love.
Hashtag show love.
Yes.
But laws are there. Yes, we understand that. But laws are not supposed to be used to bring someone down or tear them down or make them feel less than or make them feel that they're not in the same wavelength as you. Right. Laws are not supposed to, you got to keep order. We get that. But just because you have found order in this part of your life doesn't mean that you have to discredit someone else who's trying to figure it out. Amen. You have to, grace goes very, very far. It can take us a long way if we actually used it, if we actually did it, administered every day. And I think what would help all of us and us is if we start giving grace to ourselves and receive God's grace. Yes. And when we do that, we are less judgmental on ourselves first. Yeah. You said, love God first. Right. Accept His grace. Then you said, love
others as you want to be loved.
As you want to be loved. So if you don't give yourself grace, how can you give others grace?
Amen.
And you have to be able to, and I'm saying this out loud for me, really, because I don't give myself grace. I am the hardest person on myself, and I hate it, but it is what it is because I'm the oldest, and I have to be, no one's like, you gotta do this, but I'm like, I gotta do this, because what I'm telling you to do. Follow what I'm telling you to do. Let me guide your steps, because I know you've carried a burden. You've carried this weight that you feel that you got to continue to walk in. But you learn the discipline. That's great. But let me use you. Let me use that discipline for the works and the purpose that I have for your life, like for real. And so give yourself grace so that you can give others grace.
Amen. And I pray for twofold. For those that feel like they need to use the laws of the Bible to push people down, I pray God's grace falls on them. Yes, every atom, every molecule in their body feels the presence of God in their life, so that they could also give grace. And those who've been hurt by those who judge, I pray you, God, that you find a way for them to get that second chance from you, that second chance of love. Don't let someone that looked at them sideways stop them from getting closer to you, God. Yes, God. And guys, we thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. This has been awesome so far. I don't know what week this is, whatever the week is. Hashtag not guilty. I'm proud of it.
Grace.
Nothing can separate me from the love of God. So remember that. And as always, please, every single day, have a pleasant love. Bye.